Hey guys, it's me, Irish Jane, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today we have a new video. Wow, consistent after. I think it's just been a week since I last uploaded. I'm pretty proud of myself. Anyway, guys, so today we're going to talk about how I applied for my driver's permit and my driver's license. Now, if you guys are interested, please keep on watching. I got my driver's license last year. Red lights, stop signs. Ay, ipigilan natin to. Baka magalit pa si Olivia. Hey guys! Hold on. Calm down, you chick. So, I got few questions regarding driver's license on a Facebook group, and I realized why not make a video about it. Now, just a side note, I actually got two driver's permits before I got my driver's license, and the very first time I got my driver's permit was in 2019. I believe it was in May. So after we came back from the Philippines, we applied for driver's permit. So a driver's permit is just a permit for you to be able to drive or practice driving either with your parents or husband or wife or someone else that will teach you how to drive. It is not a professional driver's license. So this is just for you to learn how to drive. So I don't know how it might be the same as our driver's license, the student permit in the Philippines. I don't know. I've never driven in the Philippines. And so when I got here, you know that when you come here in the United States, especially in areas that public transportation is not zero totally, but very rare, and it's more common to have a car to drive around. It is really important that you know how to drive. I didn't have my green card during that time when I first applied for driver's permit, but I believe that I have my employment authorization document and I have my SSN. So those are important because those are part of the requirements. Now, what are the requirements? I believe that if you are a teenager, there's a specific number of hours that you need to meet. Let's say a classroom setup that you are learning the rules and regulations probably, and then specific number of hours that you have been driving around. So I will not go into details about that, but there's that thing. Now for adults, there's also different requirements. Now this might be a little bit different right now because of pandemic, but actually the very first time I applied, it was like a normal year. And then the second time, there's COVID already, so I can give you some like differences between those two times. For the requirements, first, you have to be a U.S. citizen, or if not, you have to prove your lawful presence here. So if you don't have a green card, I believe that you can use your EAD because that shows that you are lawfully staying here in the United States. You also have to present a proof of residency. So I think that is like a utility bill, let's say water or bank account, like a mail that is sent to your name, to your address, just to show that you are a resident here. So let's say in Texas. You also need ID. So during that time, I think I also brought my passport as a proof of identification other than my EAD and my SSN, and of course registration and proof of insurance. So if you own a car, you will need to bring the proof of insurance or auto insurance. On that day, I don't think I set an appointment to go to DMV, but you need to register. So it was quite a long day during that time because there was a lot of people. So the very first time I had to take the written test. It's gonna be done on a computer, 30-item test, and you need to pass at least 70%. You don't have to worry because they will provide you a handbook or a reviewer that you can find online. You can download it. It's a driver's license handbook here in Texas, and it's free, so you can study that. The test, I would say that it was tricky. You probably want to, because I didn't really pay attention when I was reviewing, so but I passed barely. I got 70%. But yeah, and you also need to pay for the driver's permit application. It depends on your age. So I think if you're a teenager, it's different cost, but I think I paid $25 dollars. Hold on. It might be here.
Day 2, Day 3, Day 4.
It's not here. After you pass the test, then they will give you a permit, but it's gonna be on paper first. Then you will just receive your card on the mail after 2 weeks. My first permit was just valid from May to November. I was given 2 months to take the driver's test, the actual driving test. Now, I wasn't able to take the driving test during that time. It was because I was working part-time but felt like full-time, so I didn't have much time to practice, so it basically expired. But you can use the card as your identification, so it's also useful. The permit has restriction, meaning you cannot drive alone. You have to have a professional driver or a licensed driver on the passenger seat. So, the person has to be 21 years old and above. Since the driver's permit expired, I had to renew it, and that's why I had 2 driver's permits. Now, the second time I applied is during pandemic. So basically I had they like limit the number of people who can go to DMV office. What Kenny did was he also set an appointment. I set an appointment, and then we compared which one was the earliest. So I think I used the one that he set. So even if it was under his name, I was able to go on that appointment. During that time, I didn't have to take the test. So that's what I actually thought that I would need to take the test. But no, I didn't have to. I just had to like fill out a form that was provided to me. And also, I think they did a visual test. But I think I had to pay again during that time. Now, they asked me if I want to keep the first card, which I did. They also took another photo for the new driver's permit. So the new driver's permit was hold on. Okay, I got the second permit in September, and I had to take the test by November 2020. So basically you have 2 months to take the actual driving test, but the card is valid up to 2027. So that's what it says here, meaning I can use it as an identification card, but not a permit to learn how to drive. When I got my second permit, I was already working as a nurse, and so I only had 3 days, 2 days actually, to practice. And that's one of the reasons why Kenny suggested that I enroll to a driving school. So other than that, the other reason is that I can be so dramatic that when he was like trying to teach me, he would say, okay, let's go to, let's say, freeway or something like that. Freeway is highway, but it's nothing like our highway in the Philippines. It's more like the expressway that we have in the Philippines. That's how the highways here in Texas. I can be very nervous that I won't be able to focus. So he said that he wants me to just attend a driving school so that I cannot say no to the instructor. First, because I have to pay them, and sayang if I won't say like, oh, I cannot. So there you go. It's a good thing that in the driving school, they also offer to do the actual driving test. There's an additional payment for that. I believe that I had 10 hours of driving lessons. So I didn't have the classroom setting because I'm not a teenager. My teacher or my instructor was a Filipino, but he was not the one who, he was not the examiner. So the last 2 hours, I was taken out by the examiner, and then she did the test afterwards. So my first day at the driving school, my teacher told me that we would go to the freeway or the highway, and I said, no, I can't, because it was my first day. So basically it was my first day to like drive around with other cars, and driving on the freeway will be a lot stressful for me. So he said, okay, maybe you're not ready yet. And then after a few minutes, he said, okay, turn left over there and we'll go to the freeway. And I couldn't do anything. So he said that, well, that's why I'm here. You have to trust me. So I survived that. Then the second day we did it again. Then I think that's it. I think we only did it 2 days. Then after that, we just roam around neighborhood and other places here in our area. For the driving school, you have to present the driver's permit. So they have to make sure that you have your permit before you can enroll. The test was pretty easy. So you will have a dry run. So I had 2 hours before my actual test. So the lady asked me to go around plus more, and then we took a short break. Then after that, we did a dry run. So we went through the places where we are going to do the test, and it only involved stop signs, parallel parking, checking your mirrors, and changing lanes and stuff like that. Your right turn, your left turn. We did not have to drive on the freeway, and I didn't have to do parking, so just parallel parking. So that's it. So they have this card. So this is a record of driving test. So she has the bad, fair, good, and she will just need to mark her grade, and of course the result if you are approved for license or not approved or things like that. When I passed the test, she provided a like a certificate. I didn't really see, or like same thing like this, and it was in an envelope that I brought to DMV to get my driver's license. So that was the proof that I took the test and passed the test. Before you take the test, the actual test, you are required to watch few videos. I'll provide the link here that you need to watch to make sure that you learn stuff about driving or safe driving. I think that's all about driver's license, driver's permit. You can leave your questions or comments down below. I will try to answer them. I'll try my best to answer them. And if I can't answer them, so like this video is basically based on my experience. And if I did not experience it, I will still try to help you by providing the link to where you can find the actual answers. I don't want to misguide you or anything like that. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all next time.